Favorito gid try nimo? Hello. 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 Tsude. Para po. Hello. Okay. I think Cebu is cooking right now. Just look at this. What a low resolution. Wow. No, don't ruin the image. Damn. But this is really cool. Like, look at this. Look at this, bro. This is super cool, right? And let's find another masterpiece in the Philippines here. So let's go to Iloilo City. Let's say if we have masterpiece. Shit! I like this one. Nah, Among Us don't have they don't have any masterpiece here. But I like this one. Okay, let's go to Tacloban. Tacloban City. Okay, in the Tacloban, what we have? Nothing so far. Let's go to San Jose, Maslo, Taracuban, Katubi, Taingan. Let's go to Masbate City. Oh, anime. Nice. Oh, damn, bro. Damn. How about let's go to Naga. Shit. We don't have it yet. I don't know. Let's go to where we should go. Let's go to Batangas City. Batangas Zoo. Did you know that this is actually the top. This is top in the world. Like, oh, there's so many flags there. Let's go to Manila. Yeah, the Manila is so populated right now. Super populated. Let's go to Tarlac. I don't know if they have Tarlac. Yeah, they have. Shit, I love this one. Veganism. I also have one. Probably I'm gonna throw my girlfriend. Yeah, that's it. So we'll go back to Tandag. Right here. So Tandag is a little bit right here. But I have here on this one. So I'm gonna finish this one first. But I'm gonna finish this one. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna finish this one. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna. So let's go back to Talandag City. So there's a lot of it. You have Bao Bao. You have Bao Bao. You have the STE, the TNHS, I don't know what's that. The STC. I think Richter was is going to draw a Nemso here. Nemso logo right here. So let's see how to draw this one. Funny Spool. How about this one? Oh, Rex. Don't draw this one. Bright Spade. Okay. We'll do this one. Omski. Nemso. Rex. Don't also. Kalmat. This one. Bright Spade. This one. Omski. How about this one? Cloudy Novel. Nice. We have also here. I saw someone. I saw someone right here chilling. And the frog is chilling. So right here we have the Butuan. Butuan have more also, but I love this one. Like also this little blocks. And yeah, they have more like artists there. I think so. Yeah. You have the Balangay Festival logo. Oh my god. What is this? Pa pa para pa. I don't know if the Cantilan have one. Parascal, Cantilan. Oh, they have Cantilan have one. How about in Caguai? Where was the Tandag? So we have the Tandag, the La Paz, Bayabas, Caguai. They don't have Caguai yet. But we'll do this one. S- Stay by me. Okay, timely, printed. This one. Sweet Dreams. Also the Chilling Froggy. Night Dress. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Let's go to the open frame up. Open frame up. And then 100,000. Like, I say, so there is actually an article by the creator itself of the like the article about handling the 100,000 requests per second. So I was about so this one is really good. It's also talk about how OpenFrame handles that amount of requests in just a second. Imagine 100,000 per second is around 12 billion. That's total amount of 24 hours is 3.12 billion requests. Imagine that. And OpenFrame easily handle those requests. That means that the system itself it's well structured and well coded. So let's just read this one. So I was about to post about the nice last 10 months of Opera have been. The architecture has proven itself to be great. Cloudflare has agreed to sponsor the bandwidth. Its their service are super stable as always, serving tiles from BTRFC proved to be great choice. Nings is amazing and life is good. Then out of the blue, I'm getting a report that some tiles are not loading, which normally means tile generation bugs, but that But not this time. I look into the Nix logs and see this. This is 2025, August 8, 23. That means around 12, 11 o'clock in the evening or morning. And open, back, failed to open files. This is weird. I never seen anything like this. I check and load and shows huge traffic. I log into Cloudflare and I see this for the last 24 hours. 3.12 billion requests and 215.76 terabyte of data transfer. So imagine that. So everything that loaded comes here is actually an image. So if I'm going to show you this one, so if I'm going to Control Shift IDES or the developer mode in the network tab, network, you can see this it is a PNG. Everything you see about this one is a PNG, like this one. This is a PNG. This is sent every time you made like example right here. You're going to see this one. This one. It's going to send like that data to the server itself. That means every time you look like this, it's going to send every time. That means it's going to calculate it chunk by chunk, then send an image to the server. That's why it's getting a lot of requests. A lot of requests from the past 24 hours to the open framework. What? 3 billion requests in 24 hours? What on earth is that? Also, 215 terabyte of traffic from tiny 70 KB files. That's 7 KB files. 70 KB with 3.4 billion requests. It's going to multiply that to, that's going to be 2 terabyte. 200 terabyte. This much of traffic would cost around 6 million per month on MapTiler and double that on Mapbox. And that's huge, especially skipping in the last 5 minutes where I'm seeing 30 million requests. Fuck. Grabe, no? Grabe, no? It's just around as, so it's, he calculate na then calculated 300 million divided by 5 seconds and 5 minutes is around 5, it's around 100,000 requests per second. That's huge. But we need to take credit about the developer or the Cloudflare also, because I think the Cloudflare is handling all that requests, not the open framework itself. But let's just also give thanks to the developer of open framework, because it somehow handled this request. It didn't get down, it didn't shut down or anything else. Wow, that's 100,000 requests per second. My thoughts are, wow, I'm surprised that the only bug I've heard about in some missing tiles, I mean, the service systems work to work. Somehow those empty tiles got cached by Cloudflare. But other than that, I still kind of works. Looking at the Cloudflare dashboard, I can see that 96% of the requests were 200 OK and only 3.6 were broken to 100% content. That means that 3.6 is the actual bug itself, like missing tiles. And 96, that's around 96% were 200 OK. That means the system is actually working really fine. So we have total of 400 million, 385, then partial of 14.58. That means that's, I mean, it's totally working. But what is causing it? The view please happen. Out of the blue, a new collaborative drawing website appeared but from scratch using open framework. I don't know what it is, but the internet seems to be crazy about it. And one thing's for sure, the traffic is generated out of this world. That's true. Where you can see 100,000 requests per second. Even Facebook cannot do that. Right? So yeah, You have this one. I believe what is happening is that those images are being drawn by some scripts, yes. If I understand correctly, the website is limited to 1 pixel per second, so I guess anyone who's just scripting Puppeteer Chromium to the start new browser, click the pixel, or else the browser possibly with every other notation, but maybe it wasn't even needed. That is not the case. The case was there that every time you move this one, is actually creating a request. I can even show this on the developer mode on the sources in this one. As you can see, there's no request happening right now. Like that, there's no request happening right now. But if I'm going to move this one, I'm going to get away from the chunk and instantly get so many requests, at least around, see that? I need another refresh, see? Another refresh, another refresh, another refresh. Imagine that the simple action that I did was getting around 50 requests. And that is around 1 second only. Look, just look at that request. And that was the case. Nice idea, interesting project. Next time, please contact me before Neil that one did the same before launching the internet project. They asked me if the traffic would be okay and if they decided to sponsor a premium project with an amount that more than covers their bandwidth usage. Sorry, women, had to quit if you have a single user, you broke the service for everyone. Mm. I think the developers were going to optimize the code they're having. I wonder if there's an automatic way to do this on Cloudflare to limit traffic by referring a custom headers. I get to automatic and will pop up. I managed to contact the dev behind the developers. He said they grew to 2 million users in a few days out of the blue. So I totally understand them not being prepared for this kind of traffic. By the way, I am amazed that their main architecture is holding up. They offered them to set up a self-hosted open instance, which is the perfect fit for such use cases. They get the service for free, the public instance doesn't get the load, and everyone is happy. Also, only having 2 million users confirmed that my belief that is mostly scripts creating the load. 3 billion requests, 2 million users is an average of 1.0 requests. A normal might take around 10 to 20 requests when loading a map and editing over one page for a long time. So some of these are extremely high scripted use cases. Also, this is literally a personable result. Tools, script, and completion. There are two learnings I'll write about in next post. I need to implement bandwidth limiting by referring and blocking into yes, of course, bandwidth limiting is really important. Yeah. Interesting. I use Primo for personal site. Instrument is this is really cool article. Yeah, we have this. That's really good. Pa, ano? Huh? So I'm gonna finish first. I got 26, but I'm gonna pen this one. I'm actually level 18, so I can buy more chocolates. Yeah, that's actually great for the OpenStreetMap that handling 100,000 requests per second. But actually, let's also give some credit to the WPS itself that they have 2 million users and so many requests per second. They handle all the services and the backend at the back. So let's have credit. Let's give some credit to the WPS. So that's it. So right now, we're going to learn about how to use or how to code in R and DuckDB. So I think out of all the databases that I find unique, if one unique is one of them is DuckDB. Actually, the other one that I found unique is Pocket Base. Pocket Base is a one line. This is really easy. and you can host it by yourself. This is easy to use, like this one. You can easily just do this. And yeah, I've used Pocketbase before on my internship in DepEd, Surigao del Sur, for their ticketing system. It's not actually like they have it, but I just use it because I want to code on. So yeah, you have this one. And DuckDB is also that I found unique. It's because it doesn't work like any other SQL databases. It works in its architecture is wait get started. Let's do that DB overview. So use the you must create a connection database. Back. So DuckDB can operate in both persistent mode, where the data is saved to disk, and in memory mode, where the entire data is stored in the main memory. Nice. To create a one persistent in memory database, so I think concurrency. This is what I like in concurrency, because it works like it SQL at the same time. It works differently from other SQL database like SQLite, MySQL, Postgres. So using DuckDB multiple support writer threads using combination of MVCC, multi-version concurrency control, or optimistic concurrency control or concurrency with a single processes, with all within a single writer process. The reason of this concurrency model is allowed to the caching of data in RAM to faster analytical queries rather than going back and forth to the desk during each query. That's true. Basically, instead of handling basically instead of handling all the example you have, I think what I understand here is wait what I understand here is that you have this data. Basically what I understand is you have this large data sets. So you have data sets here, data. Now we have a single processor right here. Now to in machine learning you have a data right here, and you need a lot of processing power to process this data. That means it works like parallelism. So it's going to like synchronously process the data into as individual cores or at least single core. Like for example, it uses triple cores like that to process all the data and give the output right here like that. But in the DuckDB, it works like concurrency. That's why it's concurrent. It works like you have, for example, for you have this one processor right here. You have the data. It works is something like this. So processor contains of different threads. So you have, for example, you have 1, 2, 3. You have 3 threads of it. Or slot allocation. That's what you need to do. How it works is that it's going to use the threads to process different data. Not different data, but the same data, but in a chunk base. So that, for example, you have the data of like this one. You need to chunk that one, then use every thread to process that data so that it works efficiently, rather than just use one processor and process all the data itself. It's like you're differentiate the it's like you're differentiating the interpreter and compiler. Interpreter works is it's going to analyze the data line by line, something like that. But yeah, so yeah, that's actually the cause. So multi-version concurrency control, the MCC or MVCC is non-locking concurrency control. Yes, this is non-locking. That's what I use because I use Go, and Go is very good when it comes to concurrent says. So, for example, method, for example, without concurrency control, if someone is reading from the database at the same time as someone else is writing to it, it is possible that the reader will see a half-written or inconsistent piece of data. That's really true. So, I'm going to, like, the better example of this one. For example, so if at the same time someone is writing to it, for example, if there are two person that want to access the database, we have the database right here. Database at the same time, it's going to be locked. Because parallelism works that what you call example, FIFO. FIFO is first in, first out. That means the first person who get the data, who want the data, will have the data first. However, in the concurrency or the MVCC, or this the multi-version concurrency control or MCC or the MVCC, works like they're going to get the data at the same time, processing that, and they will get the data at the same time. That means no one will going to wait to get the data that they want. That's what you call MCC or the MVCC. It uses concurrency control. So yeah, so DuckDB multiprocessors. Writing DuckDB multiprocessors is not supported automatically and it's not primary design goal. See handling concurrency, yes. If multiple processes must write the same file, several design patterns are possible but would need to implement in application logic. For example, each process could acquire a post-process mutex lock. Yes, mutex. Yes. Then open the database in read-write mode and close it when the query is complete. That's of course you need to close it when the data is complete. That's why you need mutex. Instead of using mutex duck, its processes could instead retrieve the connection if another process already connected to the database. We ensure to close the connection upon query completion. Another alternative would be multi-process transaction like that one. Extension. Additional optional success document take a similar approach to CSV Press, creating a web server to receive requests and manage rates on the document. So optimistic concurrent control, an approach generally considered the best fit to read intensive analytical data. So it uses optimistic, optimistic, it uses optimistic concurrency control or OCC, also known as optimistic locking, is a non-locking concurrency control method applied to transactional systems such as relational database management system and software transaction memory. OCC assumes that multiple transactions can frequently compete without interfering with each other. While running, the transaction uses data resources without acquiring locks on those resources. Before committing each transaction, verify that the other transaction has modified the data it has read. If the check reveals competing modification, the committed subscription rolls back and can be restarted. Optimistic concurrency control was first proposed, yes. Okay. Then let's go to data imports. So overview. So insert. So simple as that. It's simple like it's like SQL. Built on top of SQL. So very easy. Yes. Yes. Oh, you can you can literally add test CSV in the data. So JSON loading, yes. Okay. Nice. So you have the client. Actually, I'm gonna use R. R is like I don't know. I don't even know this. R is like you're using assembly code. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm going to learn. But I'm gonna learn this one. Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is let's go to let's just close this one. I actually have an application for the logo design. This one. Simple design logo. So yeah. Okay. Hmm. So let's say MD. Let's go to Z programming. SLS. So yeah, go lang sila Z R. It's gonna be MKDIR R R language. So Z R language. Now let's add practice. So let's add MKDIR. Let's just watch how to make one. So R getting started. Getting started. R. So yeah, installation, we have installation, system, installation, R. It's just a test if R is actually installed. So let's syntax R so let's go back. R is variable uses to pop up. Okay, let's go to Gemini. And getting started with R. Yes, R, learn the basic. R as a calculator. Yeah. Uh, there's not enough not enough documentation about R, so I'm just going to add to ask about. So in enter specifically when the following command and use system shell. So in the E, yes, if you want to put a new file, just E, new file for the just gonna do this. So it's gonna say this is one. Let's add a new one. So Z programming R language ls. So and this one let's add mkdir R test mkdir test z test and nvim. So yeah, so we have now. So let's add the new file like main.r. I'm going to use big. So we have the R. Right now, since we have the R, so R script, so subdirector name script, stored all R's. Yes. Ah, okay, so we need to delete this one. Delete this D. Yes. So I'm just gonna add like script and data. So in the data, let's add use R and VS Code. Okay. What I'm doing here? No. R. Oh my god. So yeah. So function. We have the function add. We have function subtract. Function. Wait, is R is a type language? R is definitely a type language. This means you don't need to specify the data types of a variable when you declare it. The language the type is the type. No, it's like Python, but it's not validation. So declaring a function is something like this. Then also as the return, let's try that one. So first, let's add the main that R. So let's actually add that. No, not. It's gonna be like a function E and B. Then let's just return the. Our return is something like this: E plus B, right? Yeah. So we have the subtract, subtract, subtract equal to this one. Then function E and B, also did the A and B, and returning A minus B. Then let's also divide the function. So if statement is similar, yes, okay, yeah. So divide is equal to function E and B, that is A and B, that means if B is equal to 0, return error, cannot be divided with 0. Okay. So if is B is equal to 0, so else if else is equal to return A divided by B, and this one is gonna be return a string, return cannot be divided by 0. Okay, then calculate the function. So we have the calculation. If op option plus return A return B using individual function. A cat or cat is concatenate the two value Yes. Subtract. Subtract. Okay. Using the main calculator function. Then how to handle the event here? Can I just add this one first? Notice how to run. How to run this event. So let's go to actually this one, Z test. So let's type R. Z beta R. R main dot R. R script. R script. R script main dot R. Wala ba? Main dot R. Okay, okay. Could not find function multiply. Yes, could not find function multiply. Let's add multiply. Multiply. That's gonna be function that takes A and B. Then let's add the return function A multiplied by B. So let's add not visible binding, global is B. Yes, of course. Return, use implicit return, give explicit returns not needed. Ah, okay. What do you mean by explicit? Anyways, cell S, let's go our statement that R. Okay, we have everything. Invalid operation. Please use back, 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 be divided by 0. Invalid operation, yes. Yeah. Okay, this it's really simple actually. But how to handle with list in R, right? How to do list in R. I want to know how to make list in R, listing in R. So we have the list, hello, one hello through si person list, gen. Okay, list, then I can just print. Do I need to print? What is the print? Do I need to return or cut? Yeah. So that means that if I'm going to do this, so I'm going to do this like this in R. So I'm going to do this like my list. That's gonna be specify a list. Then what we need is yes, okay. Name. This is not a list, this is a dictionary. Jane, age of 30, and is student equal to true. Now it's going to print this one by saying print my list. Try to do that. Object true not found. You mean? It's supposed to be like a bin. So it's gonna be something like this. Yes, so we have name error in list. Hmm. Arguments for SMD. Oh, supposed to be. Don't need for you to do this. It's going to read something. Okay. We have invalid or invalid. Yes, we have the name, Jane, age, and yes, true. We have student is true. Yes, yes, yes. Then how about they have how let's try all copy na. How about if I'm going to handle with list? How about mini data on list? All student with this student is false. I don't know how to handle with for loop in the R. I don't know how. So in the R, so we have the list of student here. Oh, you can actually tree it. You can also make a tree inside a list. You can make a list inside the list. It's inclusion. Okay, we have the path student. It's a for student. If student, what's his percentage? Student. If student is student. Okay. If student is equal, what is this percentage? What is this dollar sign? The dollar signs are a special operator to use access a name element within a, for example. Oh, okay. So it's going to access mean value in the element. So it's like s student. Okay, it's going to access s student. It's equal to false. That means name a copy this one. Let's copy this one. Let's add a new one. Then let's also add true. True. So let's add instead of return, let's add this one. King real dance, and run. So something like that. Then I can just go for student in students. Wait, students for student and student. Okay. If student dollar sign is student is equal to false, then get output object concatenating represent cat form. Okay. So it's gonna be the name space student that name. Wait. Oh no. It's a dollar sign. Student that name. Wait. Did I go wrong here? I don't need this one. Student in students. Student is student. So I think this is name. Then I can just do n. Then I can also add another one which is age student age hmm. So let's wait, wait. I don't remember the first name. So let's try to do that. Okay, we have one. So we have Richard. Oh, this is supposed to be true. So only Joshua and Ralph is Ralph and Joshua is a student. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Very cool. Very, very anywhere in there. Let's go to Japan. Let's go to Japan. Fuku Miyazaki. Let's at Korea first, in Seoul. We have one. But we have it's not loading. Oh no. My god. A lot of drawing. But Japan is anime. Like When you go to Tokyo, you will see something. See, the Tokyo is now going crazy. Then, bro, Tokyo is amazing. This one chunk. Only one chunk loaded. Sheesh! Sheesh! Really cool. Tokyo, Tokyo, Tokyo. Wanted more. I don't have enough. The Tokyo is Tokyoing. Nagano. Nagano. Anyways, okay. I think that's it for now. I know the basic of this. The cat. I know the students. This is how you go into the follow. Yes, access the data. Is there a table or dictionary on R? Is there a table or dictionary on R? I want dictionary. Like mapping function is here for me to map. What the? Someone created a borderline. Wow. Amazing. Dang. Student data frame. So it tables the primary data structure for handling tabular data like a spreadsheet or SQL in our data frame. The frame is list of vectors of the same length where each vector is a column and each position and the vector is a row. Most datasets you load into R such as from CSV files will be automatically imported into the frame. So we have data frame, GIMCC. Okay, that's cool. Then things are in a box, different compartment, and each compartment has a name. The dollars, okay. List. So this is a dictionary. It's not a list, rather dictionary. This is not normal list that we have. This is not how it works. I did the frame, select the dictionary, name list. Yeah, this R doesn't have a list, the literal list, but actually have dictionary. Because you can store list on a 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 list. That means you can do something like this one. You can do something like for example, list, 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 list. You can store something like this. A series of lists inside a list. I hope there's a type of this. It's there type safety for R for validation. I want validation. R being dynamically typed language, the simple instruction that yes, that's system type safety. Like other languages, this means that this the stuff is not functions. I don't like this. I want it library for validation. It's a title first. Collection of profit. Tidy first. I want validation. Packages. Portal objective flat. Values. Preparing graphics based on grammar. Graphics that provides grammar determination to very consistent set of verbs to solve tidy R, tidy progression function, tidy data is fine with R, pure, I will not complete when incomplete, consistent set of tools for the function vectors, yes, type of the component imagining the frame, string and cohesive functions and yes, for cats, cats, I don't like the cats. HTTP for web APIs, DBI for relation database between our MariaDB, RSQL, Taskfulness, or DBC, banking program, model of, huh? What do you mean by this? Build model, red boom mix, selection, location. You have the CSB, this is B, with rows, flat. Yes. Oh no, then I want validation, I want validation. This is not helping. I want actually a validation, like schema validation. Uh, schema validation. Uh, not not JSON validate. This is actually JSON. Not the OBJ validate ID. No, I don't want JSON validation. I want I want the Validation. I want to validate the data. First validation in R is logic, is numeric, is character, is a list. Okay. So validate data, function, student input, must be a list. This logical is numeric. Okay. So I need to create on validation. So I need to use this one. No.